When you know that you are queer, but your favorite drink is beer, that's gayish. You can bottom without stopping, but you can't stand going shopping, that's gayish. Oh, gayish, you're probably gayish. Well, life's just too short for narrow stereotypes, so it's gayish. We're also gayish. It's Gayish with Mike and Kyle.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish,
the podcast that supports Harvey Milk's line of personal hygiene products because you gotta give them soap.
Oh no.
Your reaction to that was like a little bit disappointed.
Well, no, I thought there was a lactose intolerance joke coming, and then like you went.
You know, I could have gone a lot of different ways. I could have gone hope. Oh no, that's the real one. I could have gone dope. I could have gone slope. I can think of 3 words. Okay.
Yeah, great. So many options. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality.
Mike, recently I've been forgetting how to do the things that we do all the time. And I don't know why.
Boo.
Thank you.
I'll be your rock.
If you start talking, I will stop. That's a lie for sure. Today we're going to talk about asexuals.
Asexuals.
Asexuality.
No, that's one word, not two.
One word.
It is.
We always talk about asexual, but this is asexual or ace or arrow. We'll learn more about all of the different things later. But first, yeah. Can I start with a couple corrections for myself?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay. First of all, this was like just for me, because when I was listening back to it on the last episode, the live one, I was trying to think of, all right, I forget if it was in the episode or if I was talking to the group later. That's irrelevant. I said, I had trouble pulling the right name of the black man that I was referring to, and it's Khalif Browder. He's the one that was in Rikers jail and for no charges later committed suicide, likely due to all the trauma that he faced in Rikers. So I wanted to just make sure I said the correct name because I didn't pull it before.
Cool. An actual real person with a real name.
Yes, the correct name for sure. Now,
great.
That story, really, listen to that. There's a really good podcast that I shouldn't keep talking. There's a good podcast on it. I forget the name of it. That was fun. Okay. Kristen sent this in about the 100. Remember your favorite CW show?
Oh, the one that I said I don't care if I spoil it. I'm so sorry.
No. No one cared about that. But Kristen said, actually, I'm adding that in. She didn't say that. That sounds a little bit condescending. But Lexa, the character you were talking about, did actually come back in the finale. It was this whole complicated thing with artificial intelligence and biotechnology. Yeah, sure. But she was there. So the CW didn't lie in their promos. Her getting killed off still shook the lesbian community. And it's sad that so many shows kill off their queer characters. Yeah. She did. I asked if she had any other shows that were in a similar vein that she liked that were like a little bit less, murder your lesbians. And she recommended She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
I mean, that was a cartoon a million years ago back in the 80s. But I guess it's also now another show because lots of people have been suggesting that we watch it.
Oh, really? Apparently it's very gay. Kristen listed a bunch of stuff that was like, everyone's gay. And then also Winona Earp. It's like demons meet the Old West. So that doesn't make sense, but I'm intrigued. So there you go. So thank you to Kristen for the correction. And thank you to myself for looking up the other correction.
That's like saying that Buffy is like Dawson's Creek meets Interview with the Vampire or something. Like, I don't.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
Oh, God. Okay,
it's
great.
Like Gilmore Girls meets the opposite of Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, exactly. I have a quick correction. I don't know if correction is quite the right word for it, but in the episode about gay baiting, I discussed pink washing. And at some point I referred to the pink scare, and somebody pointed out that in the 1950s, in the McCarthy era, that was referred to as the lavender scare, not the pink scare. But then I started looking into it, and some places did call it the pink scare. But then there's another thing that was maybe called the pink scare in the early 60s. Anyway, usually the gay people thing that happened as a result of the Un-American Activities Committee and Joseph McCarthy was the lavender scare.
Got it.
And so that's the clarification.
Cool. Everyone's right and everyone's wrong.
Yep. Great.
America.
Well, speaking of, yeah, I'm nervous. I'm going to say it anyway. Sorry.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Well, we're talking about keeping it tight.
Yeah.
And somebody pointed out correctly that I used the word ghetto to refer to my phone, and that is potentially problematic. And it's interesting to me. This is the part that makes me nervous. I thought that you were going to bring it up as a correction, like you were going to very forcefully
you were waiting
correct
for it,
me.
right? Oh,
yeah. And just the thought that it's a wide array of emotions, and I kind of want to talk about it because I think that a lot of white people, when they get called racist, go through this similar like roller coaster of emotions on the inside.
Yeah,
because I was like embarrassed, and then I was indignant, and then I was like worried, and then I was mad, and then I was like, it just went through this whole
jump right into researching, like in the back of my head to be like, I'm right, and then I research, and then like, but that's the defensiveness and the. Yep. Also, did they call you racist, or they just say like, don't use that word? Or
they didn't even say don't use that word. It was the most polite email ever. It was just like, this word happened, and that was it. Like it was
this word happened. No, I'm glad you said that. I think that's great.
Oh fuck! I should have been more prepared and had it prepared. But
because you thought I was gonna lay down the line. There are some words that I like definitely know, like the R word, the T word for trans people. Like there are certain ones that I would shut down, but there are other ones that I never know. And like people, I'm happy to, if one of us uses a word that everyone's like, dude, no one's using that. You can't use that anymore. Like, please teach me. Sex worker rather than prostitute is kind of the big one that was like a few years ago that I learned about. But yeah. Wait, so I'm kind of made an assumption. Is your plan not to use that word anymore? Or?
I mean, I'm going to try not to. I think that, it's a problematic word that some people find offensive, but if that's the bar, we have to stop talking.
Yeah.
We say a lot of things that some people might find objectionable, and the history of that word is actually super duper interesting. Maybe we'll do a shrinkage about it, or something like that, because I don't want. I think that I will leave it at it is complicated. And I will try to remove that word from my vocabulary. And that might be very difficult because it is definitely something that just rolls off of my tongue. Yeah. And like we've mentioned to each other before, off the air, we don't want to over-index on like paralyzing ourselves because we're, are uncomfortable about what might come out of our mouths. So
part of what we're trying to do is have like a genuine conversation, like two friends. We pretend like we're friends to have these conversations, but so if we have to, I mean, we got to be nice and cool, but like, so, but I think that's all you can do is, I'm going to work on reducing, cutting that, and I may mess up, but I think that's a great goal.
Yep. Okay, moving on. Ready for the news?
Yes.
I liked that one.
Why? I didn't know what was happening as it was happening.
It was like you were inventing a language.
Polari. That brings us to the Polari word of the week. It's no, that's a lie.
It's the Polari word of the week for tone deaf. Okay.
That was funny.
Great. Okay, here's the news. First of all, there is a club in London called GAY, and you guessed it, it's a gay bar. Anyway, Jeremy Joseph is the owner of the London club GAY, and he's losing his shit because the British government has been easing lockdown restrictions, and apparently last night shit was fucked in that neighborhood.
Wait, where is it? What neighborhood?
London.
Oh, okay. I just didn't hear that.
So Old Compton Street, which he said was, quote, uncontrollable, was just packed, crazy, insane last night. And there was a lack of masks and a lack of social distancing. And he's pretty upset about it because obviously the only way bars can survive is if customers keep the Rona out. Right.
I was going to say, live if they stay alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, when you say last night, for us, that's Saturday night. July 4th? Did they have a big July 4th party?
Yes. So apparently, for whatever reason, maybe as a fuck you to America, who knows, the UK government was allowing pubs, hairdressers, and other businesses to reopen on Saturday, July the 4th, as part of their reopening plan.
Huh.
And now, so this guy, obviously speaking out, he's a gay club owner and is expressing his concerns, but also, I think what makes it additionally gayish is this observation that some people have made online that the media has been focusing on, quote, the gays in Soho fucking up, Soho being the gayborhood. So, for instance, these scenes in Soho are horrendous. The issue I have is that the media seems to be focusing on the gay area of London. Surely there are other areas just as bad. Kind of gives gay people a bad name, or am I wrong? And it is an interesting observation, if true.
I mean, whenever I see pictures of gays or any kind of queers, it's always the same. I mean, I hear what they're saying. Like, it's the same white, cis, gay, jacked men that are having their pool parties. But is that unfair? It seems fair to me to be like, hey, stop it.
Well, so the problem is creating the association that coronavirus equals dirty, gay guys equals dirty. Let's show the gay guys fucking it up so that we know who to blame when there's a bounce.
Okay. That's interesting because it's different here in the US where a lot of conservatives are being shown, and it's not, the gays aren't the center of the mask wearing. It shows up, but it's not the center. I get what you're saying. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. Anyway, I'm sorry, UK. Hopefully with those fucking idiot Tories in charge, y'all don't do what we've done and get back up on top, number one, USA, America, for coronavirus cases. Best of luck, I guess. Ready for the next?
Yeah.
Next, do you know what a doula is? It is not the Polari word of the week.
Oh, I didn't even think that, which is silly. That doula oblongata. Oh, doula, they help with births.
Yes, exactly.
They make sure births happen. Good.
I did not know that word, and I know how this is going to sound, but it's totally in character for me, I'm sure. When I come up across a word that I'm like, I have zero idea where to even start knowing what that word is, I find it really interesting.
I can confirm you would either know every word or look at a word and be able to guess based on your intelligence, which is annoying. So yes, can confirm. No one likes it, but yeah.
Anyway, brand new word to me today. It's like I'm like a starry-eyed child seeing colors for the first time or something. I don't know.
I have like hippie-ish female friends that have given birth. So
got it. Well, so I had to look it up.
I should not. Sorry, I should just clarify. Like, it is not hippie to like have someone that is on your team in the room with you, because you may not always be able to trust other people around. So I shouldn't disparage it. Okay,
sure.
Proceed.
Well, Wikipedia, a doula is a trained companion who is not a healthcare professional who supports another individual, the doula's client, through a significant health-related experience, such as childbirth, miscarriage, induced abortion, stillbirth, or even non-reproductive experiences such as dying. And the doula's goal and role is to help the client feel safe and comfortable, complementing the role of the healthcare professionals who provide the client's medical care. I think it's a fascinating concept. This fascinating concept that's now brand new to me. Pink News was highlighting the Rainbow Doula DC, which was founded in Kelsey Carroll in Washington, DC, and it is a collective of doulas that caters specifically to the queer community. So, according to its website, the staff at Rainbow Doula DC have, quote, experience with expecting parents who are lesbian, gay, trans, non-binary, queer, and all folks, and they support single, monogamous, and polyamorous people. They are trained to support survivors of trauma and abuse and know how to navigate hospital systems that may be unfriendly to folks outside the gender binary. I thought it was really interesting, too, in this article when they started out, they were talking about people who are pregnant instead of talking about pregnant women.
Yeah. Is that in the news because it's a new collective or something?
Is it new?
Oh, I'm just wondering why it came up on your radar. Wonder if you know you're on my radar. On my radar. On my radar. Because when you walk, when you talk, I'm doing Britney Spears while you're looking it up. I get the tingle, I want to mingle, that's what I want, that's what I want. Turn up the faders. Wait. Oh, I got lost in myself. So now you have to say things.
I don't think anything happened. It's not a new organization. There was a little blip about it on Instagram. I think it's mostly just that they're sort of they've gotten noticed and got picked up by the press.
Got it. Well, especially with trans and LGBT health care things in the news about how fucked up people are allowed to treat, queer people. And I will say, like, it's insane hearing my friends talk about, like, you need a doula is helpful to say to the doctor, no, don't do that. That's not the best. I know that that's not the right outcome. Like, don't, just because it's easier, like the mother said she does not want this thing. So no, you cannot make that decision. It's fine. Keep working on to me, that's awesome to have someone who to then add on the experience of being any kind of queer or poly or non-binary, anything. Like, no one fucking knows what to do. Like, the doctor's going to be like, I don't get you. So to have someone that knows that is really cool.
Yeah. For sure.
I love that.
Yep. So that's Rainbow Doulas DC. You have a story.
Is this the last news story that?
Well, what I just did is what's called a pitch, Kyle, and I'm going to throw it to you to do your story.
Okay. I receive. Okay. So this is actually serious. Yeah. So, here in Seattle, it was big news, but not everyone heard about it. There were two protesters, Black Lives Matter protesters, that were hit on I-5 on our highway, by a driver. And the reason I'm talking about this story is, I mean, there are a few it fits in, but also, so on Friday night, I think that's the night that it happened, I went out with the protesters and went, like, it was downtown by the West Seattle precinct. And I sat with them and listened to them and lit candles with them. And it was, they didn't know who I was. It was a small group, 20, 30 people. They were really welcoming. And it was, this is not about me. I shouldn't. Okay. I decided to leave when they said we're going to go to I-5. So like that's the part where it's like connected to me, even, and I shouldn't make this story about me. So what happened is those protesters got on I-5, which they've been doing for the past 19 or whatever days. They're part of the Femme March that's been happening. And as they have every night, once the protesters got on, before the protesters even got to the highway, the police would shut down the highway. And the driver supposedly went on an exit ramp around other cars and barricades in the way, had to go around things to get on the wrong way and sped down. And the video's graphic and horrible. If it's popped up on Twitter, and both of the people are getting misgendered. They're both non-binary, which is another reason I thought that was important to talk about. You will see them referred to, not incorrectly, but Diaz Love, who is 32, as of me talking about this right now, is in the hospital. Summer Taylor, who is 24, died. They were in serious condition, and then they died yesterday. So there's GoFundMe if anyone wants to support them. So on GoFundMe.com, you can search for Diaz Love Support Fund or Summer Taylor Support Fund. And I felt very Mike, because I was reading people's responses to this and getting so angry. Like, if you find yourself siding with, I don't care what you think about protesters on the highway. I do not give a shit about that. These people did not deserve this to happen. They are protesting, and our city is not keeping them safe like they should. They're not doing what they need to do. And it's horrible.
Yeah.
Did that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, you hung out with a couple of non-binary people at a protest, and then they went on the freeway and they got fucking run over, and one of them died and the other one is still in the hospital, and it's awful.
And the fact that people in this country do not just stop it, that is fucked up and shouldn't have happened. Like, it's just, I mean,
there are
so
people in
much
this country that think that they deserved it.
Exactly. And
the fact that a person's human life has been ended and that's somehow justifiable because somebody couldn't get to Kmart.
Yep. Or like people are like then arguing about like, oh, I don't think the road was closed. It's like what you think about what was happening is irrelevant. The road was closed. So like I've just been looking at all these like hot takes from people about like that are, I think, removed enough that they don't like they can just throw these things out there and not care. And it's frustrating, and they don't deserve it. They don't deserve to be misgendered. So it's just a lot.
Yeah.
So if you can, if you can support them, if you have the financial means, I think they've both hit their goals, but they're going to need more like support than, that, like, go support them if you can.
Yep. Well, that's the news.
Sorry. I was so worried about talking about like, this has nothing to do with me, like, but it's like really weighing on me. And like, I have a little bit of a personal connection, but I don't know. I hope I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mike. Do you want?
It's your show, man.
I don't know. Oh, sure. Okay. I'm going to now push you to say 100 words so that I can stop talking.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the part where we do Patreon things.
Yeah.
So at a certain level of giving, you are allowed to send in 100 words, and no matter what they are, I, Mike Johnson, will read them on the air. It is a dramatically underutilized benefit. Like lots of people have it as a benefit, and we don't get them very often. So send them in, kids, even if you've done it before.
Yep.
Here we go. 100 words. Tito Burrito here. For my 100 words, just a little tongue twister to loosen up those lips. Luke's duck likes lakes. Luke Luck licks lakes. Luke's duck licks lakes. Duck takes licks in lakes Luke Luck likes. Luke Luck takes licks in lakes Duck likes. Hope you feel nice and loose. Well, great. Thanks for the lovely tongue twister, Ducky. That was
I'm
fantastic.
dizzy. Did you say it all right, or did you start over somewhere in there?
No, that's what it was.
Oh,
also,
no, I just didn't follow it. So
also, it was very subtle, but you missed the Polari word of the week.
Oh shit! What was it? I didn't understand what was happening.
When it was over, I said, "Thanks for the lovely tongue twister, Ducky." And Ducky is a Polari word for like dear. It's a term of endearment that you use to talk to somebody that you love.
That's I've heard that in like regular talking.
Apparently, it's a Polari word.
Ducky.
I'm not going to call you Ducky, though, because that's awkward.
That's not our vibe. I support that. You can call me, like, what animal would it, I don't know, trash panda?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to call you Ducky now, because water buffalo's too hard to say. No,
You're my little gardener snake. Okay, for my Patreon thing, I want to thank the following people for supporting us. Nathaniel Steffel, Nathaniel Steffel, Alex. If I say it 3 times, one of them has to be right. Alex, nailed that one. Alex Begnaud. Again, one of those. Seth Egan. Thank you, Seth. 4 letters and 4 letters.
Seth Egan. Thanks for having an easy
He's going to
name.
be like, it's Seth Egan. Felipe Silva and Felipe Silva, because I put that twice on accident. So thank you twice.
Felipe Silva and his brother Felipe Gold. Okay.
Shit. Okay. That was very well done by me. So thank you to everyone who supports us. If you want bonus shit, and me to fuck up your name, go to patreon.com/Gayish podcast.
Awesome.
Whew.
So
are we done with the show now? Oh,
Yep.
We have to do it. We have to do the
That's
show.
it.
Okay.
This has been Gayish. You want to talk about asexuality?
Let's talk about asexuality.
I wanted to just briefly talk about the history of asexuality. And it turns out that the word asexual was mostly a German thing. It sort of entered the vernacular at approximately the same time that the word homosexual did in the late 19th century. There's this guy named Magnus Hirschfeld, who was a German physician and sexologist, and he may or may not have been gay himself. And we really should do like a whole thing about him because the shit that he was doing was amazing. He very publicly argued for homosexuality to be decriminalized in Germany, and ultimately the Nazis banished him from the country and revoked his citizenship because of
they weren't down.
Perversion that he was trying to put into our society. Anyway, he wrote a whole thing, a big pamphlet about sexuality, and in there he doesn't use the word asexuality, but he definitely describes the concept that asexuality is a person who doesn't feel sexual attraction to other people. And it's pretty common, and it's definitely something that is sort of misunderstood and even maligned, I think, by our society. And there are organizations, communities that have, grown around the idea of asexuality.
Yeah.
And
I personally, this 10 years ago, I still think about this every now and then. 10 years ago, when we worked at, I was in an LGBT group, and someone said, I was like, I'm gay. I don't know why it came up. It always comes up. And then the woman I was talking to said, I'm asexual. And I didn't know that was an identity. And I laughed because I thought it was a joke, because that's what asexual had been to me, a joke. Yeah. Oh, I haven't had sex in so long, I'm asexual now. Yeah,
it's a thing. It's real.
It's the thing. It's real. People experience
it. It gets shortened to ACE sometimes. So if you'll see online, especially, somebody refers to themselves as ACE, that is ACE. That's actually short for asexual. Yeah. You will also see the term aro, or which is out there, ARO, which that is short for aromantic, which isn't exactly asexuality. To be aromantic means that you don't have a desire to form relationships with other people. You might want to fuck, but you don't want to date.
Well, dating, kind of romantic relationships. Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of us forget are two separate things: your romantic interest and your sexual interest. For a lot of us, like for me, that's just men. It's all men. Unfortunately, I just want men for all of it. So yeah, some people may not for better, for worse, for worse, for worse, for worse. Yeah, so you can be asexual, meaning you don't experience sexual attraction, but then also romantically gay. So it's actually more complex than even it seems on the surface, because there's there's a lot of wiggle room.
Yep. I'll add this and then we can move on. In a study published in 1983, Paula Nurius examined the relationship between mental health and sexual orientation by surveying a non-random sample of 689 people, primarily college students. The study focused on heterosexuality and homosexuality, but also included bisexuality and asexuality as sexual orientations. She's the one person that did this, I guess.
No one. Yeah.
The results of the questionnaires showed that asexuals surveyed had a comparatively lower actual frequency and desired frequency of sexual activity. Nurius also found that within this sample, asexuals were slightly more prone to have problems with depression, low self-esteem, and sexual discord. So even more than gay people. And what I think is interesting, and bi people, what I think is interesting about that is I wonder if that's a function of the fact that we're such a sex obsessed and sex driven society, if that contributes to this feeling that you're broken. And I want to once again pitch Sex Education on Netflix, because it's the best show that's ever been created, and fucking Gillian Anderson is goddamn amazing in that she is the sex therapist, and she says to an asexual student, sex can't make you whole, so how could you ever be broken, or something like that. And it's a very sweet and tender moment, and it really it was awesome to see I think positive representation of asexuality, and a reinforcing message that there's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, I have to imagine that, like, the added, not only by society, like asexual, like people don't get it and it's weird to them, but even within the LGBT community, people, like, you know, all those other identities that are not like cis gay men, you know, people get treated a different way. So I could see that adding to that kind of depression or mental health issues. Yeah.
I feel like this is a silly question, but have you ever felt like asexual might be a thing for you?
Nope. Never. I've never considered it until you pose this question right now, because I want to have every sex and lots of dudes and ejaculate and just live in.
Yeah.
But what about you?
Yeah, I have considered that, and mostly though that's because of my fucked up relationship with my sexuality. That, like, the fact that I wasn't into ladies and forced myself to do it anyway, and the fact that I was into dudes but had lots of terrible sexual encounters with them made me wonder if just like sex wasn't a thing for me. And that my dissatisfaction was because I was actually asexual on the inside. That part of me is fucking stupid. That's just that's just not true. I'm a very sexual being. It's just expressed, I think, differently, and I've had more difficulty than a lot of other people. But yeah, I'd considered it.
That's interesting, because I think that's something I just don't hear people talking about. So I don't want to I want to make sure like we're staying in that, like, in that moment, or I don't know what, like, long enough, because like, yeah, like you can have a bad sexual encounter and think, like you said, am I gay? Or maybe I'm not gay. Or you can have bad sexual encounters and be like, oh, maybe I'm asexual. And it's, you know, or society is viewing my sex that I'm interested in is not the same as everyone else. So maybe I am. So yeah, that's an interesting kind of confusion that can come up.
Yep.
Thanks for sharing, Mike.
Sure. Yeah. That's what we're here for, I guess.
Okay. I have something that I want to tell you next.
Tell me.
Are you ready? Okay, good. I was hoping you'd want me to keep talking. Okay. I wanted to pull some info from the from actual asexuals, so that we're kind of sharing some of the information and definitions from them. So this is from the asexual.
Because they're real, they exist. We have stuff from.
And they know how to use computers. So they made a website. So that's great. This is from the Asexual Visibility and Education Network.
I saw those bitches.
Yeah? Did you look at it?
A little bit. Not like I didn't like dive into it, because I was like, none of these people want to fuck me, so why do I want to know more?
Well, I mean, that's a misconception. We'll talk about this. Is mostly from their FAQs, which I'm going to pretend stands for frequently asexual questions. So
fuck you.
No, that's not okay. The current estimates say 1% of people are asexual.
Okay.
That feels like, whenever I read that, people were kind of like citing that, but it feels very much like a guess. Like, their studies into asexual people are a lot newer, and given how rare they are, they tend to go recruit people from like forums where asexual people are, and that's not always great science. So and people don't always know or identify as asexual. So, and some studies like focus.
And we thought gay people recruit people. It's the goddamn scientists.
It's the scientists
shoving their scientistness down our throats.
I prefer a non-science world. Don't stop forcing your knowledge and information on me. So also, like, some studies I saw only studied asexual as a subset of LGBT, which not every asexual identifies as LGBT. So it's anyway. So 1%, but I'm putting a big question mark around that.
Okay. All right.
So another thing that was helpful to clarify, like, we already defined the difference between like sexual and romantic attraction. But there are also others that they mentioned that I think are useful to talk about, like aesthetic attraction and sensual attraction. So aesthetic is just like, I know that like Scarlett Johansson is beautiful. It's fun looking at her. Like I would watch her in slow motion for sure. But that doesn't like aesthetic. I guess I don't have to define aesthetic for you. You know what that means.
Well, a long time ago now, I'm trying to figure out how to quickly anonymize this person so that I don't out them. Somebody in my life explained to me, do you ever think that like little angelic looking boys are beautiful? And then he quickly backpedaled to tell me how much not a pedophile he is. But I think this is sort of where he, like at the time I was just fucking mortified and freaked out. But like that might be an actual thing, right? Like just, I find that pleasant to look at, not in an I want to fuck that kind of way.
I mean, maybe the wording was a little bit weird. Like everyone says like, oh, babies are cute. Like that is purely aesthetic. Like they look adorable and they move around and giggle like little bundles of stupid. So like, yeah, I think that's aesthetic.
Right.
Man, why'd you have to bring in pedophilia, Mike? Sensual attraction could be like cuddling, kissing, hand holding. That doesn't necessarily mean that you want sex, not sexual attraction, but there are lots of different forms of attraction. And that's, I think, part of what makes it complicated and difficult to know is because even though we can define those things differently, like sussing those out in yourself as a person, like that seems very difficult, or it can be.
What if you just want blowjobs?
It's a blowsexual. No, that's sexual attraction.
Okay, great.
Cool. Figured it out. There is the word graysexual, which is asexual.
You want to bang old people.
I wish. Oh man, I wish. So that is someone who's on the asexuality spectrum. So just like everything, it is not always as clear cut as like you literally never experience sexual attraction. It could be you very rarely experience sexual attraction. So that gray sexual is kind of a you're on that spectrum, but it's not as definitive as asexual.
Yep. Okay.
There's demisexual, which I've told you about. And
you tried to diagnose me as.
You say that like it's a past tense thing. Okay. Demisexual is someone who can only experience sexual attraction or desire after emotional bond has been formed. Okay.
It's not wanting to bang Demi more.
What? Oh, got
Demi,
it. Okay. Haha. Or Demi Lovato.
Or Demi Lovato.
There we go. I would have liked your joke way better if you updated your cultural references. Okay, maybe
I'm in my 40s, Kyle. This is the best I can do.
Well, you did text us about Mary Kay Letourneau earlier.
She died.
So I heard from some dude on my Facebook messages. Okay, maybe you experience sexual attraction even without an emotional bond. You just don't act on your sexual attraction without an emotional bond.
Correct. And I would state it even slightly stronger than that. I have a difficult time expressing myself sexually without a connection. Like,
it's not about the feeling, it's about the expression of that feeling.
I see people and I want to fuck, but like, unless I get to know them first, unless I build some sort of trust with them, our sexual encounter with each other is going to be terrible for me. Like, it is bad. I have lots of bad sex because I haven't gotten to a place that I need to be with that person in order for it to be fun. Okay. But I definitely want to fuck them when I first see them.
I withdraw my assertion of demisexual.
Okay.
No, I think,
I think I'm a something. We can come up with a term if you want to workshop this and figure out what I am. Like hemi-demisexual is what we said that one time when we talked about it on the show.
I forget what that meant.
You're kind of demi, I guess. I don't know.
No, yeah, I don't think, but it's about experiencing sexual attraction because like there's a lot like in this FAQ about like it's not that you choose to be celibate because of your religion or whatever, like you experience it but you shove it down. It is not something happened to, actually, I'll jump ahead. There's something called hypoactive sexual desire disorder, or HSDD. You said, yeah, as if you know what that is.
Yeah. I even once asked a doctor if I had a problem. Like, that's one of the things that encouraged one of my doctors to test my testosterone was because I was experiencing, like I said, it's fucking stupid, but I'm always comparing myself to other men, and other men were just constantly thinking with their dicks, and that's I kind of think with my dick, but I not nearly as much as my other fellow men. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And I even went to a doctor about it, and that's ultimately what led to this. Well, let's test your testosterone, and let's look at your I was concerned enough about it that was something that I was pursuing.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but didn't you confirm to have low testosterone?
Oh yeah. I have borderline testosterone.
Borderline testosterone disorder?
Yep. I like to joke that my testosterone is in the high lesbian category. I just at the very, very bottom of the range that is considered normal, I hover there. And sometimes I test below it, sometimes I test above it, but I'm right in there. And enough that one doctor said, let's start you on testosterone, and did. And then another doctor was like, no, we shouldn't do that. You were normal, and took me off. So, whatever.
That's confusing. What is the, other than just the fact that you have low testosterone, what would that be trying to resolve by taking testosterone?
Libido.
I want to be having sex more, but I kind of don't, though. I want to have sex more.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Got it. Yeah. So that's a great example of
and maybe I'll grow a beard.
Ooh.
Which we all saw in quarantine how that went.
Yeah, man, I didn't. Well, you know how I feel. Okay, but hypoactive sexual desire disorder is an underlying sexual needs that are not being met to the point of personal distress. So it's the fact, just because you're not having sex doesn't mean you're asexual. Jesus, my dog is coughing on Hey, bud. Be cool. We're recording. Just because you don't have sex does not make you asexual. And in fact, HSDD, it causes you distress because you want to be having more sex and you're not, for whatever reason. And there are a variety of reasons, including medical things. You talked about things like getting cancer,
being a Republican.
There's so many causes of not having sex. Yeah, if you're wearing that MAGA hat, you are hopefully not getting a lot of sex. Other definitions, there is allosexual. So, there's cis is to trans, as allo is to asexual. So we are allosexual, someone who experiences sexual attraction or a desire to have sexual relationships.
Got it.
That's a new one. That there are a lot of new words that I'm learning, and then I see them and I'm like, I saw that word once and I still have to look it up. Yeah. So allosexual is one that I've heard of before, but have had to continually look up because
it's not wanting to have sex with that stuff you rub on sunburns. I love that we're remote today so that I can blame it on the lag and not on needing to figure my joke out.
I really had to think about it. I think that might be me, though, because I was going to say it's different than being a Scrooge McDuck. Metal. He's into metal. He swims through the coins.
An alloy sexual?
Yeah.
All right. That's a deep pull, Kyle.
Yeah, this was a bit of a stretch. Okay, we're both amazing today. Asexuals, I blame you. Another thing that I saw on the FAQs that I thought was really interesting is that asexual people can do things like masturbate. They may do it for a variety of reasons, including it's stress relief, or I got to take care of this boner, or they didn't say that specifically.
Every once in a while, do you have a problematic boner?
What? It's just a little racist sometimes?
Yeah. And you need it to go away.
Jerk it off. So you still can't masturbate. You still can't experience. You even mentioned you can have kinks and fetishes. They just don't involve sex with other people. They don't involve other people as part of it. So
okay.
So you still can be aroused. You still can get aroused. You still can have a libido. And there are a lot of things like that. Like none of it is like clear cut. So it's all like, you might experience this. You might experience that. So like, it was annoying. It's that thing like that a lawyer would do. The answer to every question is like, well, you might be asexual. Only you can decide.
Potentially.
Yeah. So but that's kind of how everything is. So those are the frequently asexual questions.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Great. We've answered all the asexual questions.
So I wanted to talk about asexual erasure.
Yeah.
And it's like bi erasure, but like maybe worse. And where I'm going with this is I always am on the lookout for ways to bore you. And I wanted to figure out like people that are asexual from history. And it made me realize just how problematic it is. So there's already like a problem, like labeling a person as gay in history, right? Like people it was the love that dare not speak its name or whatever.
And asexuals are the love that dare not speak.
Yeah. Like we know that President James Buchanan was like real close with the Senator King from another state. I think it was a southern state. Anyway, that they were like real good friends / live together / probably gay. But like we don't know that they banged. We don't know that they were in a romantic relationship. And saying I'm gay, that's not a sentence likely to come out of somebody's mouth when they didn't mean happy back then. So like, what do you do with that information? Anyway, with asexual people, there's two versions of it that actually are pretty difficult. The first is there are a lot of people that are presumed gay that get called confirmed bachelor in the history books.
Oh,
what if they're just actually a bachelor?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and they're sort of stigmatized because they're a bachelor. Why haven't they found the right woman? Why aren't they married? And like our brains, I think mostly, and like obviously you and I, because we're gay, but like I think society's brain sort of goes like, well, he must have been gay then. Yeah. He could have just been asexual.
Yeah.
Or she.
I never thought about that. Yeah. Like, it's almost like the progressive thing to understand that a confirmed bachelor could mean they're gay. Like, oh, I'm so enlightened. I know that, but it's actually like the next step is, well, we don't know what they are because I think it all goes back to like respecting how people identify themselves.
Yeah.
Because we have no idea.
So one super famous dude that fits that definition, I think, is Nikola Tesla.
Oh.
The scientist. He was very handsome. I went on a whole like, do I want to bang Nikola Tesla thing?
Well, now I need to. You can keep talking.
Okay, great. He was also very tall and apparently had giant hands. So, like, know what that means.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Big gloves. Big. He was 6'2", which for the time was super crazy tall. I mean, it's still kind of super crazy tall. Had around 300 patents to his name, mega breakthroughs, right? And he was always described as being fastidious. He liked to dine.
That used to be a euphemism for gay, for sure.
Yeah, he liked to dine in the same place at exactly the same time every day. And he often asserted that any thoughts of romance or sex would hinder his creative abilities, so he never even took any lovers, let alone got married.
Which this is like what I was talking about before. Like maybe he was doing that intent, like even though he had feelings, maybe he was saying like, well, science suffers when I bone, so I'm going to not do that. Or maybe he just didn't experience them.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Why do I guess it's possible. What you're saying is possible. I'm having a hard time buying it.
Oh, like, what do you believe deep down?
What I believe deep down is that sure, it might take you until you're 90 years old and writing your memoirs. Everybody at some point, whatever their sexuality is, it comes out of them. And not having sexual attraction is great. you're asexual. That's fine. I just have a hard time believing that somebody would be truly interested in sex and not at some point express it. I don't know.
Isn't that like some religions? I don't know the difference between them and who has to be celibate or what, like nuns or something.
Catholics, yeah.
Sure. Wait, real quick. Can you hear Reynolds chewing on his toy? Well, he stopped now.
Oh.
Did you hear anything before?
No.
Okay. He decided to bring his toy right up beside me and just start gnawing on it. Okay, let me know if you hear it, and I'll be the dick that takes it away. Okay.
So to your point, here's a quote that actually backs up your theory, but I was bringing to the table to prove that he was asexual. Tesla said, quote, "I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, everything."
No, I think that confirms what you say.
Oh, great. I'm right. Let's move on.
Well, I thought we were going to do a no, you're right. No, you're right. But you just ran with it. Huh. I looked up a picture of him, and I mean, that middle hair part really, I can't look past it.
But look right into his eyes and have his babies, Kyle.
His eyes, even in this black and white picture, are stunning.
Yeah. Nikola Tesla, everybody, get wet.
Get it.
Okay.
Unless you're asexual, in which case, stay dry.
The other category that pops out in history that I'm interested in, it's very similar to bi erasure, is that there are lots and lots and lots of people, even today, who are asexual, but because of societal and family pressures, they get married. They even have children. They are forced into what looks like a traditional heterosexual marriage. And how many millions of married people right now are actually asexual, and we have no idea. And then you can go back at history, like famous people, and find lots of examples of exactly that. Do you know who H.P. Lovecraft is?
Sounds like a ship on Starship or something.
He invented dildos. No, he's...
I was so into it. Okay.
No, he wrote a bunch of spooky tales, ghosts, ghouls, alternate worlds. The idea of Cthulhu, he invented that. Anyway, but he was raised Victorian, and he got married to this woman named Sonia Green, who they met at a convention, which is the least sexy way to meet somebody.
That's the most asexual place to meet someone.
But anyway, so by her own account, in her writings, it says that he performed his marital duty, albeit only when asked to, never taking the initiative himself, and without showing any desire, enthusiasm, or even competence in the act itself.
Okay, asexual is not bad at sex, just to clarify.
On his prowess in the bedchamber, she would later write, quote, "Of course, I did not expect him to be an ample provider, but I did harbor some secret expectations that he might, after all, provide to be normal as a husband and lover. I felt, however, that his inhibitions were provoked more or less by his severe, puritanical upbringing." This highlights a couple of things. I mean, his wife was like, he wasn't into sex. He's asexual. But there's also the trap in here that I think happens all the time to poor ace people, is that there's something wrong with him. Like, religion perverted him, so that's why he's not into sex. Like, he could have just been asexual, right?
Yeah. And that is another thing I didn't mention in my, asexual people may still have sex, and part of it could be, I was actually just reading about this on one of the asexual subreddits I'm in so many subreddits to read from all the umbrella of LGBTQIA
do research for the show and then forget to leave the subreddit after we've done the topic.
So the asexual people may have sex with their partner as a way to, because their partner wants it and they like making their partner happy. So it's not like they're being forced into it or anything. They're not personally into the sex they're having, but they're into the fact that they're making their partner happy and their partner wants it and likes it. So, and that's what you're describing, it sounds like.
I understand that this is a problematic comparison.
Ooh.
And I think about it a little bit like feet. Like, if somebody's
Go
into my
on.
feet, if that gets them off, if they're going to have a big old orgasm because of my feet, I don't get it. It's not going to do anything for me, but I like making that person happy, and I like making him have an orgasm. So here's my feet.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I like that. Here's my, I present to you my feet on your dick.
The last thing, and then I'll turn it back over to you for another segment. I wanted to talk briefly about Salvador Dali, the painter.
He's my favorite painter.
Yeah. So apparently there's lots of people that believe that he was asexual.
Huh.
And he was married. And there was, of course, all of the stuff that we just got done talking about with H.P. Lovecraft about, like, what does that mean, if anything? But he quite famously said, quote, "I have tried sex once with a woman, and it was Gala, his wife." I have to translate, and it was Gala, his wife. Okay. I have tried sex once with a woman, and it was with his wife, Gala. It was overrated. I tried sex once with a man, and that man was the famous juggler Federico Garcia Lorca. It was very painful. And then in his autobiography, The Secret Life of Salvador Dali, he notably left out sex and sexuality, sort of danced around the subject or avoided it altogether. And so a lot of people have taken that to mean that he was also one of these people who's asexual, but his asexuality is being erased by these, like, really powerful messages we have that everybody's allosexual. And
oh my God, good use of the word.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Do you think jugglers are probably really good at having sex? I think they could do wonders with a blowjob.
So my whole thing is, if you're a juggler, you're probably like a circus person in general, and they're all ripped and hot and amazing and bendy.
Well, jugglers, that's the thing about jugglers, though. They don't have to be buff. They don't have to, like, walk on a tightrope or, like, ride an elephant. They just have to stand there and throw little things in the air.
Yeah, but they probably are bendy.
That's true. Jugglers, hit us up.
Yep.
Well, another thing, just still on the topic of asexual.
Maybe jugglers have giant dicks. Maybe that's why it was very painful.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If it was, like, literally painful, he could be having sex wrong or bad sex. Yeah, this is the thing, is, like, it could be one of a million possibilities, and that's what's so great about now, like, recognizing, understanding, defining it so that people can understand themselves better and feel comfortable, like they're not broken by being any one of these orientations.
Yep. Nothing wrong with you, boo.
Yeah. Asexual erasure. Another thing, like, I always think about is at Pride, there's always the, like, oh, straight people don't belong here. You know, you see a couple holding hands or whatever, and they look like they're heterosexual. And, you know, we talked about, like, they could be bisexual, so you don't know that. Also, like, they could be asexual and in a relationship. So, like, we always assume that a relationship, an opposite gender relationship, means you're some kind of gay or straight, or no, opposite gender, you're straight, but that's not the case.
And maybe they're just allies, and as long as they're not taking pictures of people or wearing a straight pride t-shirt or gawking, maybe just leave them alone. I don't know. Well,
that's the, like, thing to Pride. I'm just like, if they're not causing a ruckus, just leave them be, because they also could be, like, not out, and so they can't say that they're anything, and ally is the easiest kind of umbrella. Anywho, okay, the last thing I want to tell you is a little bit not Gata exactly, but a little bit just about the history of studies of asexual people.
Okay.
It is, I'll go ahead and add this to the list, just like trans people, that it is not often studied and more recent than people are actually studying it. So it's very new. So this is from Wikipedia, just some of these. So the first that I saw that we were aware, Western kind of studies were aware of asexuals, it says in the 1948 and the 1953 Kinsey studies, the famously ranked people from 0 to 6 to say how straight or gay they were. And apparently, Wikipedia said he was aware of an asexual element, but did little to investigate it. So he was like, yeah, I see you over there. Bye. So he...
Do asexuals get like a negative score or something?
No,
like,
they get... I think this is kind of badass. They got an X.
Oh.
It's like... I'm
not even a number, Boo.
I'm not a number. I'm an X. That feels like X-Men or something.
That's great.
So then in 1977 was the first exploration of asexuals in a paper called Asexual and Autoerotic Women, Two Invisible Groups by Myra T. Johnson. Oh, your great-great-grandmother.
Aunt Myra.
Aunt Myra, she portrays them as invisible, which we just talked about, kind of still are, and, quote, oppressed by a consensus that they are non-existent. Myra said that they are left behind by both the sexual revolution and feminist movement, which makes sense that there are a lot of movements that kind of take the biggest chunk of people that they can find are the most visible or commonly seen, or even in the case of gay people, like the most easy to get their rights, and leave behind some of the other even more minorities within minorities. And and then this is not a comprehensive like list of all them, but just kind of some examples. In 2000,
something you said made me think. Like,
oh, good.
We haven't really had to fight for asexual rights because not fucking has been pretty much okay with everybody for always.
Yeah, I wonder what not having. I suspect a big part of it is like acceptance, recognition that they're not. Well, maybe like they're not in the asexuality is not in the DSM, so it's like trying to tell people like it is not a problem. What's your face?
Dark thought.
Ooh, what?
All of those states that like it's not illegal to rape your wife. That's legal. That's asexual rights.
Oh.
The sentence I said about not fucking has never had a problem. That's not true. I was wrong. I retract that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure there are things that I'm not thinking of or don't know about, but also like just understanding. And I mean, that's like a lot of groups, like just understanding and recognition that you're not broken and you're not bad. Yeah. It's just how you are. Asexuals, tell us what rights you need and we'll help you.
Yeah,
or something. The last one that I'll mention is in 2001, there were studies on ram mating preferences.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about that in the Patreon.
Oh, okay.
So the Patreon segment this week is all about asexual animals.
Oh. It's like Noah's Ark, but half.
Yeah. Yeah. And wait, unless you're talking about the football team, the Rams, in which case that's way more interesting.
Did you know there was very little sex that they had with each other? That's probably not true, but so okay, then I'll just leave it. I didn't look too much into this, but there are animals that have been seen to be asexual, and I guess we'll talk about that more in the Patreon segment.
Sure will.
Cool. Well, I think that's all I got.
We've talked a lot. I feel pretty good about this episode.
Yeah,
we brought lots of angles. We actually talked about the topic.
You're welcome, everybody. We talked about the topic we said we would. Yeah, I think we did. We didn't make up too many fake stereotypes about asexual people. Yeah.
Oh my God. If bi people don't eat pie, like asexuals
hate dessert.
Oh man. All right.
Sure.
Did we do it?
Yeah, we did. Totally.
Okay, great. So you want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
And not fuck. Let's take a break.
Break.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
So are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest.
We're going to do our Gayest and Straightest, but first, our website is gayishpodcast.com.
We're on so much social media, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, at Gayish Podcast.
Our hotline, you can send us text messages or leave us voicemails, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
And our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
And our physical address is Post Office Box 19882, Seattle, Washington, 98109.
Let's get physical. Do you want to do, Gayest and Straightest, or?
Oh, yeah. Before we do that,
Yeah.
let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
First of all, we've done, we are like amazing.
Okay.
We were number 4 on the United States sexuality charts on iTunes. Dan Savage was number 3, so he was topping us for like the whole
my
day.
goal was to get right on the bottom of the Dan Savage. Yeah.
We were featured in an article for Esquire magazine.
Yeah.
And in the proudest my dad has ever been of me, we were in Hustler magazine.
Such a fucking weird thing. I loved it. In the Houston Chronicle.
Yeah. Which they didn't know that you were from Katy, so now you might be even more famous because you're from there. Anyway.
Yeah, sure. But yeah.
Yeah, we're a media firestorm, Kyle.
I know, right? It was just very weird where a lot of things either we figured out or came in. So thanks to all of you for whatever you've done in whatever way in the world.
We absolutely could not do it without the Gayish agenda. That's for damn sure. And if we miss anything, we don't always catch anything. That's one thing about this last week that was interesting. We started Googling ourselves, which is not sexy, not cute.
No.
But we Googled ourselves and found a bunch of shit we didn't even know.
BuzzFeed, this really was a listener. Like, I don't know who it was. If you're listening, hey, let us know because you're awesome. They were like, this list that this BuzzFeed editor put together of like, what do you do to enjoy pride or feel gay? Or I forget what the thing was. And one of them on the list was listen to podcasts. And they quoted a person that said, Gayish podcast is my favorite. So that was awesome.
Yeah, so if you see us out there, please let us know because like we're just a 3-man operation behind the scenes, and I don't read. So also, it is awards season, and we very much would like to be a award-winning podcast.
Yeah,
and
in all our copy, it's always award nominated. We are really good at losing, though. We've lost so many times.
Yeah, right. But we're this like. We should stick with what we know.
Yeah, that's true.
So never mind, everybody.
Don't do anything.
No, but the listener nomination period is open for the podcast awards. We should already be on there because we submitted ourselves to be part of the mix. But we very much need you and your votes because what they do is they take people who have gone on and voted in the preliminary rounds. They become the judges. So if we need to pack the bench, we need to go from 9 justices to like 180 and have most of them be from Gayish. But anyway, go to podcastawards.com and please go through the painful bullshit of logging in, like signing up, getting an account, and then voting for us and other people too in other categories if you want to. That's entirely up to you, but you better fucking vote for us. I swear to God.
It is not actually that painful. And we're in the LGBTQ section. You can just vote for us. You can vote for other categories as well. You don't.
No, it's super hard. You have to be really good at life. You have to be valiant and brave.
No,
because if you make it sound easy, they won't do it, Kyle. Bystander syndrome. They'll assume everyone is going to do it, and then they won't.
Oh, if you make it sound difficult, they won't do it. It's medium level difficulty. It's enough that not everyone's going to do it, but not enough that you shouldn't do it.
Yep.
I'm feeling good this year.
Podcastawards.com.
Now, do you want to do our Gayest and Straightest?
Yeah, let's do our Gayest and Straightest.
I'll go first.
Okay.
My gayest thing is I just decided to shave my ball hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't for a sexy time. I just did it for me. And I, like being quarantined, like there's no reason to. And I feel like straight guys, the only reason they would do any kind of downstairs grooming would be like for their lady friend.
Yeah.
But I just I just wanted to feel good about myself and my genitals. So, my straightest is do you know the stereotype that gay people walk really fast?
Yeah. And Kyle's walk really fast. So gay Kyle's like you, fucking impossible to
Just
keep up with. Plus you're tall, which is fucked up.
Large legs. Yep. You're tall, so that's fucked up.
I don't know. I'm tired. It's the end of the show.
No, this part doesn't matter. No one listens. The straightest thing about me is actively trying to slow down and walk at a normal pace. I'll be like walking super fast and for no reason. And I'm like, you know what? You could like legitimately walk slower, but I have to keep reminding. It's very difficult, but that's my straightest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Take time and smell the roses, Kyle.
Yeah.
So the gayest thing about me this week was basically getting caught. I've been going to personal training. I forget if I said it on a previous episode, but I am no longer clinically obese. I'm just very overweight, according to the BMI calculator. But I was working out with my trainer, and this guy came in to apply for a job, and sweet fucking Jesus, he was so smoking hot that I kind of dropped my weights a little bit. And yeah, I totally got caught. He was beautiful. He can't work there. I won't get anything done. Okay.
Or will you work harder because you want to impress him?
That's true. That's true. Probably straight anyway. Whatever. The straightest thing about me this week has been I may or may not have played a little bit of Call of Duty, which I think is just like that's the straightest video game that exists.
Isn't that the war one with the guns and stuff?
Yep. An argument could maybe be made that like one of the Maddens is the straightest, and I think I'm willing to have that debate. Call of Duty is up there. Very, very, very straight, very broy.
It almost Madden feels like the regular straight dude, and Call of Duty feels like I need to tell you all how straight I am to prove it to you.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Was it fun?
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay.
Okay.
Yep. So that's it.
Wait, listener.
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. We have a listener, Gayest and Straightest this week, which this week comes to us from Discord, and Jacob Rainey, who is adorable and a truck driver and adorable. Anyway, Straightest saw what I was hauling and my mouth started watering, and there's a picture of just stacks and stacks of kegs in the back of his truck. And then Gayest, in the last week, I have listened to the Wicked soundtrack more than 10 times, singing along each time.
Oh, my straightest is not only knowing Defying Gravity from Glee, not from the actual musical.
Oh, God. Oh, Kyle.
We can't get into this. This is the end. Goodbye.
This is going to impact our relationship. Okay, that's it. A special thank you to Tito Burrito for the 100 words at the top of the episode.
Thank you to all the asexuals out there, just repping it up and being super not into sex.
Yep. And thank you to you in advance for going to podcastawards.com and voting for us, you fuckers.
Thought you were thanking me, but that's fine. Thank you to you, the TV show You.
That's it. This has been Gayish. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you, the TV show.
Bye.
Bye. Reynolds is now getting his bed ready.
Oh,
Hi, bud. Good boy. Good boy doing that while we're taking a break.